And welcome back to Late Night Lately, the Late Night Show. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the late night style show for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. I guess I need a new tagline. There's a new tagline for LinkedIn Logs, the jobs and business news podcast. So I'm looking for a new tagline for this. All right, let's get into this monologue I have prepared for you. It's short and sweet and very funny. Pete Hegseth is reportedly seeking... God damn it. I'm not going to restart. But I will not include this on the social post. Okay, let's do the monologue. Oh, goodness. Here's the monologue. The Pentagon is reportedly seeking $200 billion for the war in Iran, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth suggesting the final number could move. You know, just in case he wants to add in a couple of hundred cases of beer. It's going to be a good weekend, boys. Oh, goodness. A mugshot of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star Taylor Frankie Paul was released following the release of a domestic violence video, after which the social media star was arrested. And you know what? Still would. It's true. She didn't throw chairs at me. Country star Zach Bryan purchased Jack Kerouac's manuscript for On the Road for a reported $12.1 million, most of which will be going to pay Ticketmaster fees. The Hubble telescope caught a rare view of a comet crumbling as it entered the Earth's atmosphere, and somewhere across the cosmos, an alien that looks just like a human version of Elon Musk is celebrating. And finally, Because I Got High, rapper Afro Man won a defamation suit against him that was brought by local police after they raided his home without warrants, and he made a music video about it. You heard that right. Because I Got High rapper Afro Man won a defamation suit against him that was brought by local police after they raided his home without warrants, and he made a music video about it. Oh, whoa. Sorry about that. I guess I got a contact high. And that's the monologue. That's all the jokes I have for you today. You're welcome. Oh, goodness gracious. If you are listening to this show, and if you listen to the other shows, did I mention this on Constitutionals? If you listen to at least LinkedIn Logs, you'll know that my roof is currently getting worked on. In my apartment complex, I do not have a home. And by currently getting worked on, I mean at this very second in time, there's somebody, I don't know, 15 feet above me. How tall are my ceilings? Not very. Oh, goodness gracious. It doesn't matter. They're on the roof. And they're banging away. The moment I sit down to record this podcast. Let's get into what happened this week in late night. It was I would say it's been a very slow and low key, as the kids say, week in terms of, mostly because news is being focused on, like the real news, like this war in Iran is being focused on. And I feel like all the bigger guests, save for a few, are essentially not here right now. But on the Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon had Demi Lovato, which, true or false, I saw her and I was just like, okay, all right. It's a horny episode, guys. Sarah Michelle Gellar was there. Daniel Ashram was there. And Demi also performed. Tom Brady appeared on the show, and I believe it was his first time. And he has as much personality as whatever show he's on. So there you go. Linda Cardinelli was there as well. Derek White sat down for an appearance, the basketball player. Katie Boyle performed stand-up, which was good to see. I love that Fallon still does stand-up. I know I missed a stand-up last week, and I do feel bad about it. And I saw it when I was posting the video. Derek Stroop is the person I missed last week. Julia Cumming performed. Kerry Washington showed up. Riz Ahmed was there, and he talked about his new show on Amazon, and he's been open about pitching himself as the next James Bond, and he should be the next James Bond. I would love him over, I know one of the rumors was Aaron Taylor Johnson. and we don't need a big roided out Bond. We need somebody who, preferably, is a brown person and who can play cool and calm and collected. I would love to see Riz in that kind of role. Let's see. Also, for the Tonight Show, I believe Taylor Frankie Paul was supposed to appear on the show, and NBC did not pull her. ABC did. If you don't know the whole situation, I had to go to TMZ to watch that video. I put on incognito mode. I don't want to type in TMZ on my browser and then start getting that stuff. But I watched that video and I was like, damn, it's crazy. It's wild. Johnny Knoxville was there and Dwayne Wade was there as well. And Jill Scott performed. All right. On Late Night with Seth Meyers, we had another week with a bunch of closer looks. Daniel Radcliffe showed up to talk about the rise and fall of Reggie Jenkins. I talked to Craig Robinson this week, so check that out. Kate Mara appeared. We also had a Back in My Day. Tessa Thompson was there as well. The beautiful Tessa Thompson. Steve Zahn, Mark Normand, who's Mark Normand is a funny guy. He does have a comedy circle that I do not like to. He associates with people that I do not like, but he's a funny guy, and that audience was just not there for that. Ryan Gosling was there as well, and they also surprised Ryan Gosling. I guess surprised the audience with immediately after the show, everybody there was offered a bus ride to go to the premiere of Project Hail Mary, and people were excited when they cut to the audience. People were crazy. There was like tourists just going buck wild. And I believe when Ryan Gosling was on The Tonight Show last week, he gave all of the teachers in the crowd, because everybody was a teacher in the episode that he was on, a free ticket to see Project Hail Mary. So that's very kind. I like that. Jesse Ware, I don't know if I said that. Anya Taylor-Joy and Sean Hannity from The Pit. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, we had Zendaya start out the week. She was great. Jeff Ross, and then Chris Robinson performed. They also had Guillermo at the Oscars, and Chris Robinson also sat down. Chelsea Handler was there. Lisa Kudrow. It's nice to see Lisa Kudrow just reminisce about Friends, because I know for at least for a couple of years she seemed kind of apathetic about the whole situation. Like I was on Friends. Can we talk about something else? That's what she kind of seemed like. Charlie Cox appeared. Robert Pattinson was finally confronted about being a liar, and then the beautiful Sarah Shahi. Oh my goodness gracious! It's the only reason I watch Paradise is to see that gorgeous woman. Jesus Christ! This is a week for beautiful women. Just a week for beautiful women. And Tedeschi Trucks Band performed. On Colbert's Late Show, he actually took Thursday off, which was odd to me, but I hope those people were paid. He sat down with it was a Broadway style week. He sat down with Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and Robert Lopez from the Book of Mormon. Andrew Rannells performed 2 songs. The audience was clapping throughout the entirety of both the interviews for Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and Robert Lopez. Just let them have a conversation. Leah Michelle performed a song from Chess, and also it was wonderful to watch Andrew Rannells perform, I believe, with which is a great song, with an orchestra. It was cool to see just like an orchestra on the stage, which you don't see a lot of now in today's late night world. We had a Meanwhile, David Alan Grier appeared. Elijah Wood stopped by. Edward Norton, I didn't watch this interview, but I guess they did an interview and then he did a poem reading. Chef Jose Andres was there, and Colbert brought in more of the charity auction stuff. Anyway, it was this week really felt indulgent for Colbert to have a couple of Broadway performances and Broadway people, and then also Elijah Wood, because he's a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. Colbert is. He's also on the Star Trek Starfleet Academy as the announcer, or I guess I don't know what he's not an announcer of the show. He's a voice on the show, and he does like one or two lines every episode, and it's good to hear. He doesn't stand out. And you know what? I watched the finale last night of the first season. It's a if you like Star Trek, if you like modern day Star Trek, I'm gonna say that especially. If you like Star Trek, I don't know if people really like modern day Star Trek. I like modern day Star Trek. I also like post Star Trek. I like TNG. I've only seen like one episode of Voyager, but I liked it. Deep Space Nine. I've only seen one episode of Deep Space Nine. I like Discovery. I like Picard. I like all that shit. Who cares? I don't care. I will say it's more or less the same thing. It's all the same thing. I will say Star Trek from the first show, with the exception of the cartoon. I've seen a lot of the cartoon, and I don't really like the cartoon. But everything from Star Trek, the original show, up until Star Trek Starfleet Academy, the only difference is the more sophisticated storytelling in modern day Star Trek and the overarching plots, and the more money, obviously. I'm not saying it's more sophisticated and it's better, because there's a lot of great Next Generation episodes and a lot of great original episodes that still outshine like the entire first season of Starfleet Academy. But I think Discovery might be my favorite, though. Next Generation, Discovery, everything else falls in place. But again, I've seen like 1% of Voyager and 1% of Deep Space Nine. Now, I do if I ever turn on Pluto, or if I turn on the Paramount Plus app and on the live channels on that, I'll go to the Star Trek channels. That's true. Anyway, on Last Week Tonight, this week, John Oliver covered J.D. Vance. And then, just in case our great, wonderful president dies, that's who we have to look forward to. So it's ridiculous. It's insane that is the backup. This week on The Daily Show, Jon Stewart talked about the Iran war. He interviewed Mayor Matt Mahan. Then Jordan Klepper took over for the rest of the week, and he spoke to George Saunders. That horrible George Saunders. Steve Zahn. And then we also had... Oh, and he also talked to Rebecca Traister. And then we also had a sports war, and Michael Costa did his money show thing. It's great. Now, this week we had since this is the premiere week for SNL UK, we had the premiere of their first YouTube. God, what is the word? The YouTube promo, I guess. Well, not promo. The promo for the show, SNL UK. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the thing, and then I have to mute the thing. And it makes me wonder, and I am excited for this show. I am going to watch this show. But it makes me wonder. I don't want you to see my searches on my YouTube. It's all The Weekenders and then like Hip Dax. Like just wild. Anyway, and it's a fun promo. Tina Fey pops up, obviously, and we have the entire cast involved. If you're watching the video, you're seeing a little preview of it. But this is it's a funny promo, and if the show is as funny as the promo, then we're good. We're all set. This is going to be excellent. If you don't watch SNL promos, all you're missing is really just not even a sketch. It's just like a little introductory bit. Here's everything that since my YouTube search history has been brought up. Here's everything I searched for in the last day. The Weekenders, because it's an old Disney show that I like. It was on UPN, I think, and then it moved to Fox and then Disney. And then I was looking for a DAC because I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll be an audio person. And then I was looking. Oh, One Chicago. I was looking for the trailer for the last Chicago crossover, and then I just bought for my rower. I bought the phone holder, so I was trying to watch the video on how to put that together. And then Would I Lie to You? Mostly because I like that show. I love Would I Lie to You. I think it's a very funny show. It's a UK panel show. And then I was like, maybe I'm not going to be an audio person. Maybe I'll just buy another Sonos because I have a Sonos Move 2 speaker. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll buy the sound bar. So I bought an Arc Ultra I was thinking about an Arc Ultra with a sub. And then, whatever. And then last night before bed, I was looking up Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho, the manga and anime from 92, I believe. Then I wanted to watch the Nintendo Direct or something like that. And then there's a restaurant in the show The Weekenders that I think is it always changes its name. BTS, that was from this morning because I downloaded the new album, and then a record table, and then some Justice League stuff. Don't worry about that. What a very fun time. But it's interesting. The SNL UK premieres this weekend, so we're going to see if this show lives up to what SNL US is all about. Now every single one of these stories is going to be from Late Nighter. They did a comprehensive set amount of coverage. They did a decent amount of coverage. Talking about things like this first one comes from Late Nighter, written by Matt Solomon. 8 lessons from SNL's hit and miss international versions, and you read that right. There's more. There were other international versions of SNL that did not do very well. One thing that's very important is that the show has to air on Saturday night. The Spanish version in Spain, obviously, aired on, maybe who knows? I could, Spanish version in Mexico, aired on Thursdays. The show has to be weekly. I'm reading this along with you. Japan's version of SNL was 45 minutes long instead of 90 and had a permanent host rather than visiting celebrities and aired only once a month. I think only one of those can work. If you're going to do 45 minutes, then fine. Make sure it hits every other note. A permanent host was the original conceit of the show, wasn't that? Wasn't that the original conceit of the show? And if you're gonna have a permanent host, then have cameos, have people come in, because then you're more or less treating it like it's a late night show with sketches. But airing once a month is really bad. That ended after 6 episodes. The Spanish one was 12 episodes. Be careful adapting classic SNL sketches. Yeah, don't do that. Be original. Spain did the cowbell one. Oh, good Lord. SNL Quebec did a French version of Sweaty Balls. Oh my God. Producing versions of Debbie Downer didn't help this show last more than 2 seasons. Guys, no. Don't copy for an international audience. I think comedy doesn't even need a language. It can just be funny. Don't sweat the live part, at least in Germany. Okay, let's see what that says. Germany's SNL was called RTL Samstagnacht went live to tape for its episodes. That's not a good idea. That's not good. Okay. Keep your hands to yourself. Okay. Oh, God. SNL Korea in 2016 posted behind the scenes videos on Facebook featuring boy band B1A4. In the video, female staffers grope the band members before running off screen. Nah, okay. That's not a good idea either. Wow, the intro for SNL Korea. Whoa, okay, it looks just like SNL. Wow. Hire enough funny people. Okay. Finland's version of SNL had one major issue. The cast only featured 4 comedians. Oh, Good Lord. No, that's not going to work. Lean into political comedy. Japanese comics and SNL Japan see political comedy as easy. The star Koji Imada told the Japan Times. Oh, no, you have to do some type of political comedy. Unless the government, 8, unless the government can cancel you, like it did in SNL Arabia. So don't do politics if you can. So SNL UK premieres this Saturday. It's going to be on at 10 p.m. in the UK, which is, I guess, their late night. And then we know that you can stream it on Peacock on Sundays in America. I don't know if the YouTube channel did not pop up when I typed in SNL UK on YouTube. It went straight to the Sky One YouTube platform. What's interesting about SNL UK, this comes from Matt Webb Midovich over at Late Nighter. It says that SNL UK's flexible runtime solves a long-standing SNL problem. I guess they have a flexible runtime. Let's see. SNL UK is yet to in short. It's on a slide. There's a hard out at 102 a.m. with 30 seconds for SNL to accommodate fixed running time. Entire sketches have been made, cuts, blah, blah, blah. Sky, which will air the sketch comedy series in the UK, has listed the official running time as 75 minutes compared to 90 minutes for NBC's SNL. But lead producer James Longman tells Late Nighters Bill Carter that any given episode will land between an hour and 90 minutes. Longman similarly told our podcast partner, Saturday Night Network, quote, "We've got a bit of flexibility with actual running time, adding Sky has been, quote, supportive of the whole scheduling process." Good for them. I don't know if that necessarily will help with anything. I wonder what their work processes are like for the SNL UK. What's it called? The show. It makes me think: are they going to do the ritual of the Tuesday night thing and staying up all night long and then coming in and doing rewrites and then basically just running yourself ragged? When pretty much every SNL person or every major one, like Tina Fey even has said, you don't need to do that. Like I think even Seth Meyers has said that too. What's also interesting is that Sky is so bullish on this. This comes from, again, Late Nighter, obviously. Matt Webb Midovich. SNL UK's episode count grows ahead of March 21st debut. It was originally going to get 6 episodes. Let's see how many episodes it gets now. The reason I made that noise is because if you're watching the video, there's a fox holding a bag that says Saturday Night Live UK. And as soon as I saw that fox, I wanted to make that noise. Let's see. How many episodes are they getting? Shortly after the first English language international offshoot of NBC's SNL was announced in April 2025, it was handed an initial order of 6 episodes. But early on Friday, which is today or yesterday for the UK, I guess. I don't know. It's just say today. Just say today. Because it's Friday there. They're only a few hours ahead. It's not like Australia. Sky/producers Universal Television Alternative Studio and Broadway Video announced the freshman run has been expanded to 8 episodes. All right, cool. We get 8 episodes of SNL UK, so we have that to look forward to. Also, I do believe they're just going to be working for the next 8 weeks straight. I think that's what I read at one point, that there's no hiatuses. The first set of hosts and musical guests will be Tina Fey and Wet Leg, which is exactly what I need. I fucking love Wet Leg. And then Jamie Dornan with Wolf Alice, and then Riz Ahmed and Casbian. I don't know who Wolf Alice is. This is very interesting. This is more diverse than all of this season of SNL has been. Just saying. Who's Wolf Alice? I'm going to say Rock, obviously. Let's see. Wolf Alice. Okay, they look cool. All right. And then finally, this comes from Bill Carter himself. Inside SNL UK, can London capture what made Saturday Night Live work? And this is just a full interview with Longman that Bill had. And it's just talking about all the stuff that SNL UK is going to be doing. I'm excited to see this show. Do I have to subscribe to Peacock to get it? Oh, I have access to screeners, so maybe I do not have to subscribe. Yeah, but I want to watch Homicide: Life on the Streets. I just finished Southland. It's fantastic. And I watched Homicide: Life on the Streets a couple of months ago, and then I just forgot about it. I want to get back into it. Also, James Longman was the co-executive producer on The Late Late Show with James Corden. So that's pretty cool. So he knows comedy. He knows how to produce comedy. There you go. There you go. No, I think a lot of what James Corden did was funny. I do think a lot of that show was funny. I'm not going to take that away from him. There's things I don't like about every single late night host, except for Seth. Seth is perfect. Oh, we know how much I've complained about Colbert and The Daily Show and Kimmel. All right, well, check all that out, and hopefully SNL UK. I have high hopes for it. I know 3 people on that cast who I didn't even know were on that cast because I never looked at the names, but they all look funny. Again, it's about 3 people more diverse than SNL proper is, but whatever. This is a very white season of SNL. Just saying, it looks a lot like the original show. They keep talking. You keep talking about go back to the original show. All right, listen. If you like what you're hearing, head to the website cpluscomedy.com where you can see a video version of the show and pretty much every interview I've done, almost every interview. I just recently sat down with Craig Robinson, so check that out on youtube.com/cpluscomedy or cpluscomedy.com, where you can also check out video versions of this show as well as late LinkedIn Logs, which is the Jobs podcast, Jobs and Business News podcast, and the Constitutionals, which is the entertainment business news show. Subscribe to those shows wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media at cpluscomedy on Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Me on those platforms at Chad Blackwhite. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.